By knowing Him alone, this individual soul can sail across this vicious cycle of life and death or Maya. Therefore, arise, awake, and take the shelter of a genuine spiritual master and know him immediately. It's very naive to blame God for the miseries we are suffering. God, एको देवः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः सर्वव्यापी सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा कर्माध्यक्षः सर्वलोकाधिवासः साक्षी चेता केवलो निर्गुणश्च. Shvetashvatara Upanishad. God is one and supreme, and He is dwelling in each and every individual's heart. And He is the supervisor of our intentions and actions. He does not disturb us. At the right time, He raises His finger and gives the judgment. The good actions and the bad actions we are performing, He makes a note of it. And in the right time, He gives His judgment. So the pleasure or the misery which we are suffering, we are responsible for the actions which we have committed. God is not responsible. Recently concluded England and India series, which India won with thumping brilliance 4-1. Suppose you have gone to see the match. In the first day itself, 300 runs were scored and 5 players, they came back to the pavilion. In the second day, you are going to watch the proceeding, and your friend accompanied you. And when you have taken your positions in the stadium, your friend is watching. He is astonished. What has happened? How on the scoreboard 300 runs have been scored? And how 5 players, they are back into pavilion. The match is going to start. The umpires, they are entering. The fielding side is entering. The batsman, they are entering. How this is happening? This is ridiculous. You pacified your friend by telling, the score you are seeing in the scoreboard is not today's score. It is yesterday's score. The match was played yesterday. And at the post session, because of bad light, the match was postponed there. And the match is going to start today from the same score. Similarly, during cataclysm or the dissolution or Mahapralaya, the world in which state it existed during creation or emanation, God puts the same thing into that state. So the pleasure or the misery which we are suffering, we are responsible for our acts. God takes cognizance of our actions and intentions, and at the right time, He gives judgment. So, God has not created anything new. The thing which existed during cataclysm, God just releases it. And the miseries or the happiness which we are enjoying or suffering, these are the results of the actions which we have performed. Now the second question posed by Charles Darwin. If God is all blissful, He is all pervasive, He has permeated Himself in the tiniest objects of the whole universe, but not an iota of that happiness so far we have released. Shri Krishna in Gita gives a cryptic reply. Trivera gunamayair bhavair revis sarvamidam jagat mohitam na bijanati mamebhyah paramabhyayam. Gita. Arjun, you are under the spell of Maya and I am beyond Maya. So naturally, being under the spell of Maya, I am who is beyond Maya, you cannot perceive me. For example, suppose you are showing a white flower to a gentleman and you are asking him what is the color of the flower. Pat came the reply, the color of the flower is aloeish. Are you crazy? I am showing you a white flower and you are telling it's aloes. It is my own experience. Is there any problem in your eyes? Have you color blindness? No. I was gold medalist in physics in my student career. Absolutely, I have perfect eyes. Then how come I am showing you white flower and you are telling it's aloe? When there was a medical test, it was revealed the person is suffering from jaundice. The effect of jaundice has pervaded in his eyes. So seeing a white flower is telling it's aloe. Similarly, you give Peter margosa leaf to a gentleman and ask him what is the taste of this bitter margosa leaves. He'll be telling it's sweet. Are you mad? Of course not. But I have given you bitter margosa leaves. How you are telling it's sweet? When there was a medical checkup, it was found that gentleman has been bitten by a poisonous snake. The venom of the snake has spreaded in his body. So testing a margosa, bitter margosa leaf, he is telling it's sweet. Take another practical example. Two ants, they were friends. They started in the same time. They were together up to evening. They moved around a small mound of sugar. When in the evening they were returning, one ant told, today it was a very wonderful day. So much sugar we have consumed. It was a great day, a very memorable day. The second ant is telling, are you crazy? It was not a mound of sugar. It was a hillock of salt. And when there was a medical test, it was revealed. The second ant who is telling, we were moving around a mound of salt. A small portion of the salt was put in its mouth. So they circled round the mound of sugar all the day, but not a trace of sweetness the second ant could relish because of the salt particle which was put on its mouth. That is the exact position. God is all pervasive. Tat srishtva tadevanu pravishat. After making creation, He has spreaded Himself in the tiniest object, and He is all blissful. But because we are under the spell of Maya, the three modes of nature have affected our senses, our mind, our intelligence. So, all pervasive, all blissful God, we fail to relish. When God comes during incarnation, we also fail to grasp His divinity because He is transcendental and we are material. देखिया ना देखे जना भक्तेर जन उल्लुक ना देखे जना सूर्येर किरण. An owl in the scorching midday of June, he is not in a position to see anything. That exactly is our position because we are under the spell of Maya. The three modes of nature have engulfed us. Our senses, mind, intelligence, they are under the spell of the three modes of nature. So transcendental God we cannot perceive. Therefore the Vedas tell, in life and death, in happiness and miseries, the Lord is equally present. Open your eyes and see Him. Bible. For attaining God, we have to do nothing. Because He is all pervasive. He is dwelling right inside us. But we have to cleanse our inner self. We have to open our eyes. The inner eyes, they have to be opened. And the inner eyes will be opened when the inner self is cleansed. So now we have received very convincing explanations from the Vedas. These two questions were instrumental in dragging so many young people towards atheism or agnosticism. People became agnostic or atheist because these two questions Bible couldn't answer. But how convincingly the Vedic wisdom have solved these two problems. Now let's come to today's deliberation. Jaga pe khana toma dekhana hare Vidhi hari shambhu nachavan hare. On one hand, the Vedas tell प्रजापति शरति गर्भे अंतरजायमानो बहुधा विजायते तस्य योनिं परिपशन्ति धीराः. So many saints, they have seen him, they have talked with him, they have realized him. On the other hand, the Vedas tell, the scriptures tell, Naham nayoyam yadritam gatim vedur nabama debaha kimuta paresuraha tanmayaya mohita buddhayastvedam Benirmitam Satma Samam Prachakshmahe. Bhagavat, nobody can really know God. When we are in this dilemma, this confusing state, on the one hand, the Vedas tell, know him immediately. This human life has been gifted only for knowing him. On the other hand, the Vedas tell, the scriptures tell vehemently, nobody can dare to know him. When we were utterly confused, the Vedas, they instilled a ray of hope in us by stating, Nayamatma pravachane na labhyo na medhaya na bahuna shrutena yame vaisha vrinute te na labhyas tasya isha atma vibrinute tanugvam swam. Ved Nayam Atma Pravachane Nalabhyo. God can never be comprehended by listening to philosophical discourses. Even God, He will be coming and He will be giving discourses. Still then, it will have little impact on us. Because Chidanandamaya Deha Tumhari Bigat Bikar Jana Adhikari. We are under the spell of Maya, and one who is beyond the spell of Maya, only he is entitled to know him. Because his body is transcendental, Chidananda. So while listening to the discourse of the scriptures, we cannot know him.